will never not surprise me when Scene Switcher does that. Hold on. And welcome back to Duckling Open number 143 this time. Our monthly tournament for the amateur players up to 4.2k MMR, which is around diamond level. And to your surprise, I mean, I know, it's monthly tournament, but we just had Duckling Open last week. The thing is, that was the February edition and we are now in March. And this is the March SDO. It just so happened that like all the schedules piled up, so they are all close to each other. But without further ado, we have the first of our games. And let me quickly double check one thing. Okay, yeah. And we have a very interesting match here in the first round, as we are on Title Citadel, and in the top left corner we have our red Protoss player from Finland. It is Rick Games. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the purple Zerg player representing Micromaniacs. Also from Finland, and I believe the first time playing in our tournament. It is Samosel. Samosel? Samosel? Oh, I actually don't know where Finns put the accent. Oh no. I'm just gonna say Samosel. It's fine. If anyone in the chat... Oh. Okay. I see we're starting spicy as Rigaze goes straight up for a cannon rush in the natural base. Behind the mineral line, and I mean, yeah, Samosa has not seen it actually at all. Ooh, that sounds good. Second probe goes into the main base, so it is already up the ramp. That is very important for later on. There's a gateway here now as well. This hatchery obviously doesn't have vision before it's morphed, and I don't think any units like caught the probe going there. And only now as the hatchery pops up, the cannons do as well, and now Samosel knows what is happening. I mean, he has the pool, he's gathering resources for the speed, but he has to figure out something right now and right here. Goes for a Baneliness, okay, interesting choice. It's definitely one way to deal with the cannons, although it will be very difficult to get either. I mean, I guess he could just Bane Blast the pylon, there's only one. Where are those probes though? There's only this one. I guess the second one must have left. Question mark? Or was it the same probe and I'm just crazy? I don't know. Well, now we have a Zealot here. It will be guarding this natural base. Samosa is still gathering forces in the main base. He has a few Zerglings, but they don't have speed yet. It's not even halfway done. So that Zealot has to be careful still about going on creep, but they shouldn't chase him too far. Important to know is that Rick Games does not commit more to this cannon rush. This is just to deny this natural base, and now he's transitioning into a Stargate. At the same time though, this probe is going all around the map, so I would not be surprised if there was something more in store. Okay, Samosel actually sending the Zerglings out. Maybe recognizing that it's not that... I mean, I don't know, like... I think maybe he's just trying to sneak the links across the map, because, you know, there's a high chance that if the Protoss is committed to that cannon rush, then they don't have anything at home, but that is not the case. Oh, more Zerglings are flooding in. The Zealot did spot them. A bit undecisive on the side of Samosel. There's a Lynx come back, but this wall is pretty solid. I don't even know. I think you can get through here, but there's still the shield battery and all the rest will stop you. At the same time, the Zealot does come in together with an Adept now. Ooh, the Queen actually goes down. The drones have been evacuated. Where are the drones? No, they must be evacuated, right? They didn't die. Yeah, I think they're in the corner. Yeah, they're all the way in the corner. Sorry, purple is not very easy to see on the map. Now the Zerglings are going across the map, but again, there's already like all this. Look how solid this wall is. I mean, granted, it doesn't look like perfectly organized, but it does look pretty strong. So yeah, I mean, Samusa will try to Bane Bust this. I guess the forge may be a weak point? Yeah, because other than that, like every other building like has a second layer pretty much, unless he tries to like maybe weave through the pylons. Yeah, a bit undecisive, and in the end is not able to take down the forge. It is quite damaged, but not enough to take it down. And with that, GG is called, and Rick Games will be taking game number 1. Yeah, it's the clan RBH. Wait. Trying to remember what clan he was of. Okay, that is very funny. So, casting tool can automatically update like the ladder map pool. Except I never updated it to the current map pool, and so every time I type the map name, like casting tool is trying to guess the map name, but from the old map pools, and it just changed Taito into Triton. I mean, I guess it sounds the same? Question mark. Ah, the Finns are speaking Finnish. Oh no. You know what? Hello everyone. We will get first quacker. Psychons got first quacker, as usual. Oh yeah, let me finish this. Hello Chit, hello Zerking, Mokaboy, Aistan. What else do we have in the chat? Shakalaka. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's interesting. The lobby put me as player by default, and it put me as Protoss. That's interesting. I don't remember when I last played Protoss. Okay, just setting up. aka not Neptune. Wait, why would it be Neptune? Or is it like a science fiction thing? I do not know. Anyway, as we are here on Ruby Rock for the second map of this best of 3 series, here in the bottom right corner this time we have our red Protoss player representing RBH and coming from Finland. It is Rick Games. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the Purple Zerg player, also from Finland and representing Micromaniacs. It is Samosel. I would say that it's very interesting to see someone from Micromaniacs. Yeah, but like someone to see someone from this team, because I remembered like this is a clan that was around like a decade ago, you know. I mean not like a decade, but like when we were starting to cast, when we were starting to use casting tool, that was like one of the teams that was there, that like this casting tool was kind of made for, you know, for the Alpha Team League and such. So it's very nice to see that they are still around. Oh, once again, putting a pylon behind the mineral line, but this time there is no forge, so this is just to scare Samosel a little bit. And maybe, you know, get some vision. But Samosel does not react. Like, oh, I'm gonna put it in your vision. Maybe now you will get scared. But no, Samosel just follows the plan. Just finishing his spawning pool. Oh, no, actually he pulls the drones. Yeah, this was just a trick. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, just mine from natural at this point. I mean, the drones are already there. Might as well. So yeah, actually Rick Games is successfully mind gaming here. Samosel a little bit. Only a little bit though, didn't finish that pylon, so not too much is lost. And in the meantime, he has time to, you know, upgrade his base back at home. And I'm curious what kind of strategy Samosel will go for this time, because obviously last game, you know, it was Rick who was dictating the pace of the game, as they say. But this time Samosel can actually go into some proper build, so I want to see what they like to do. As we have an adept coming across the map, just one though. The second one is on the way, but not quite out yet. Okay, one drone. It's none of my business. Shaking my head. You know, when Steel Mold and Iceland meet in the chat, it's just... the puns, they are multiplying. As we have Oracle for Rick Games. So that will be coming next. I assume maybe some synchronized harassment together with the adepts. Samosel just getting some links, but getting a lot of gas. He does have a lair. Three extractors and a lair. I mean, that sounds like roaches, but there's no roach warren inside. Normally you would have the roach warren even before the lair, I would say. Unless I missed it. No, I didn't. Meanwhile, the adepts do go down to the Zerglings eventually, and the queens. And yeah, what is the plan here, I wonder? We'll find out soon, as in the meantime the Protoss player is going for a Twilight Council and Forge, so gateway units are sure to follow. The Oracle, meanwhile, is about to reach the bases. And ooh, actually it's Hydra then. So I guess it will be Link Hydra? Oh, but there's no Spore here, only one Queen, and it's not doing enough damage to stop this Oracle. Drones are falling one after another. Yeah, how many? 6 kills on this Oracle. And it does survive as well, so will be coming back again. Meanwhile, the second Oracle goes into the main base. The Spore there is already on the way, but it's not finished yet. So once again, drones will be falling. Ooh, but this Oracle, yeah, it's barely taken down. The second Queen does snipe it, but that means there's no Queen in the natural base. If Rick Games realized that he could just dive this Oracle right in here. But now the Hydras are on the way. They don't have upgrades quite yet. But nonetheless, yep, once again, the Oracle coming into the natural base. More drones are falling. The Hydras are now out, so they will try to chase this Oracle. It's not very easy through the mineral line though. Should we tell Kura about predictions? No, you shouldn't. Nah. Okay, Rike is getting a third base, but it's quite far away. He didn't decide to go for this one, or even the linear one, but all the way out here in the front. It's a very interesting location. I mean, you can almost say that it's a ninja base, because I don't know if Samosa will be checking this side of the map. So we have Storm on the way as well. So that is coming too. Right, Samosa working on the upgrades. I mean, I will say this army does not look very big. And the speed is still on the way. Zerglings actually don't have speed. The Hydras have their range upgrade. Ooh, but the army of the Protoss meets the Zerg right in the middle, and the speed is still not done, so the Zerglings are at a disadvantage. But more Hydras are reinforcing, and Hydras do have pretty good DPS, so Rick Games does have to be a bit careful about that. As his army is not that big either. Looks like the Zealots were split to go into the bases. There is no third, so there's nothing for them there, but they do find some drones in the natural, and some of them are going to the main as well. Meanwhile, Samosa is committed to this attack, and he is still going across the map. There is a lot of stasis wards here, but the first few Zerglings should do not trigger one of them. Yeah, and that takes a big chunk of the army. The Oracle will not go down though. Ooh, and now the storms on top of the Hydras, on top of the Zerglings as well. The Hydras are trying to engage, but it's not easy with all this zoning. Ooh, yeah, another storm right on top of the Hydras. There are a lot of Zealots in this army as well, and now they get on top of the Zerg army. Feedback on the Overseer as well. And yeah, the Hydras have to run away, but they cannot. The Zealots do catch up to them. And the entire army is cleaned up. Meanwhile, back at home, no drones at the natural, a few drones at the main, and yeah, GG is called. Rick Games will be taking this series 2-0. GG. GG to Rick Games, as he will be taking his countrymen in this first round match. And moving on to face, chat's favorite, Uncle Climax. Let's take a quick look at the bracket. And as you can see, we have Rick Games defeating Samosa 2-0 to go face against Uncle Climax. At the same time, we have Shuriakul II defeating Mr. Penguin 2-0 and currently facing Star Knight. We also have Blue Knight versus Mukaboy. So yes, Blue Knight and Star Knight may meet again, funnily enough. We also have Roxas versus Valley. I don't think I know Valley. Who is Valley? Oh no, okay. Valley has played before. Okay. So yeah, we have Roxas versus Valley into Horseradish, aka Pretty Fly. And of course we have Libre as well. So with that, we'll be going back to NA for our next match. Actually, do I have a thingy set up? I don't. Okay. Well, our first map is Duckling. Let me double check the servers, as this is Europe versus Australia, I believe. West, Central, West, okay. And thank you for subscribing, Quentin Suit, for 50 months. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the games. Thank you for supporting the CranKy Ducklings, because it's thanks to you that we can make these tournaments happen. I'm just setting up the lobby. Okay, the players are having a bit of a chat. Smoke away like Miska boy? Okay. Sure. Miska boy. Ah, the Cyrillic C. Okay. Let's make official red. Actually, can we get better colors? We get like blue versus red, or because it was red versus orange, which is just not the ideal setup. Okay, I guess they did say they are ready, but I don't always officially ask if they're ready. Look, I need to know. Too slow. Can get teal next time. Or some last minute color changes. Anyway, welcome to Tourmaline, where in the top right corner we have the first of our players. It is the Red Protoss player from Finland representing RBH. It is the bigger, also known as Rig Games. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes and coming from Australia. It is Uncle Climax. Hold on. Casting 2, why did you not show the team? Like, I'm checking and like, there's no spelling error or anything. Shaking my head. Casting 2 just decided not to do it. That's just it. Anyway. Predictions. Alive. God damn it. Predictions are up. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, never mind. I know what happened. Okay. Okay, casting 2. I get it. Should be working for the next series. Or for the next game. Yeah, looks like we have a hatch first. From Uncle Climax, so nothing too aggressive. Nothing too aggressive from Rig Games either. Actually, let me change the name. Come on, buttons, work for me. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Shindek, would you mind actually contributing? That would be nice. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, well, I guess we won't have the name for this game then. Simnek just decided not to contribute today. So we have Lair on the way for Uncle Climax. No additional gazers are being taken, no additional extractors. So I do wonder where this gas is going, or where that Lair is going for. Meanwhile, we have a Stargate from Rig Games. So, you know, decently standard day. First adept is across the map. The Queen was actually way out, going all the way to the third base. Maybe, you know, to make sure that it's not denied. But yeah, I am very curious what that Lair is for. We have a third base from the Zerg. A few queens, but still only one extractor. Okay, what is this? A Hydra then! So once again, we have a Zerg going for Hydras, but on one gas? Okay, now he's taking more extractors in the natural. Okay, I see. Meanwhile, we have two adepts in the natural chasing away the drones. Don't get to kill too many though. In fact, did he kill any at all? One, okay, one drone did go down. But only one, so pretty nice there for Uncle Climax. Of course, the adepts are still cheering around, so they can approach at any point. Yeah, the Uncle Climax is going for the Hydra speed first before the range. And the Oracle flying in together with the adepts. And now things are becoming difficult because the queens cannot defend from both of them. So the queens are focusing on the oracle, but they stop. And actually the natural is in big danger as the queens are now chasing the adepts. The drones evacuate to the main, but that's where the adepts are. But that said, one of them did get sniped, and now only one of them it won't be able to one-shot the probes. He's actually focusing the queen as well, but at the same time the oracle, it does go down, but not before 10 drones do die. So overall, for the adepts and an oracle, I mean 10 drones is pretty good, so nice damage there for Rick Games. And in the meantime, he was able to take a third base. Take a third base, get the Twilight Council charge is already on the way. No forge yet though, right? Yeah, no forge. So no upgrades for the gateway units. Anyway, the range upgrade is coming up for the Hydras. We do have a few of them already out, but not too many. Okay, let's count quickly. This is 9, right? Yeah, it's like 9 Hydras. The Hydras have been seen by Rick Games. They actually split in 2 directions. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but I think so. Oh, they will catch the Zealots! Look at that. Oh, but they will run straight into the... Yeah, they run straight into the stasis, and most of the Hydras are actually not able to contribute to this fight. Charge is about to be finished. Oh, they tried to kind of hide behind the stasis, but some of them will be destroyed by the Hydras. Even a force field adds up here as well. And yeah, I think this will be cleaned up. The rest of the Hydras pop out of the stasis and they are being trapped by the Protoss. So unfortunately it did not work for Uncle Climax there. Still making more Hydras, he's remaking that army. Speed is on the way. Link speed was not done as he was rushing into Hydras, but ooh, the Protoss army is on the move. It was not enough to just defend. Regains it will be on the offense as well. And he does have a lot of Zealots for it. The Hydras are trying to hide in the mineral line, but they are quite squishy, so the Zealots should be chewing through them quite fast. The Queen is trying to help as well, but they are all falling down. More Hydras are coming in from the main base, from the natural. It looks like it may be just enough to fend over Regains, but yeah, with the Hydras coming one by one, the Zealots are able to deal with them. Okay, now Regains, yeah, he has to go back. He decides to recall, which I don't think is ideal. I think if he just jumped off the creep, it would probably be more effective, honestly. But nonetheless, he does recall a few units. And Uncle Climax goes for another attack, this time with Zerglings. Those Zerglings do have speed, but they run straight into the Zealots, and there are Archons now as well. Ooh, yeah, does not look good for Uncle Climax. Storm is almost finished as well, so this Templar in the army will be able to do some great damage to the Zerg as well. Oh, there's a dog. Anyway. Once again we have Zealots coming into the Zerg base. The Zerglings are trying to stop it. The Hydras are now kiting, and ooh, they may be actually able to hold off this army. Yeah, but now all the Zerglings are gone, so the Hydras have no buffer. The Zealots get right through them. We have the other part of the army reinforcing here. Storm on the Hydras. The sentry. Oh, the High Templar? High Templar goes down. Very nice snipe there for Uncle Climax. No one storms for the time being, as there was only one Templar in this army. Reinforcing Zerg is enough to hold it off for now, but this Archon in the back is doing a lot of damage. Actually goes down to one unit. This is a very scrappy fight and this Stalker is running for its life. And it may be able to escape as there is a status ward here. The Oracle does not though. Oh, this Hydra. This Hydra is not happy with being caught in the status. In the meantime, as all of this was happening, Greek Games was able to establish a 4th base though. Something that the Zerg does not have. And there's another army from the Protoss already ready. With 5 High Templars this time. Or they're getting their energy set up. Ooh, this base is pretty uncovered. The Overlords do alert Anticlimax though, so he is able to gather his army back at the base, but I mean, let's see. Yeah, Storm right on top of the Hydras. They are quite split up, so it's not that easy to storm them, but there are so many storms here that it doesn't really matter and the Zealots finish the job. And with that, GG is called and Greek Games will be taking game number 1. Yeah, this was a very scrappy game where both players were constantly losing all of their forces and having to rebuild. Okay. As for next map, Uncle Climax says Empire, the Empire one. What? Turns out that in his mind, Old Republic is Evil Empire. Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, ready. Let's go. Welcome to the Evil Empire, or as it's properly called, Old Republic. We are here in game number 2 of our quarterfinals. As the first of our players here in the bottom left corner, it is the Red Protoss player? Now I'm missing letters, lovely. It's the Red Protoss player from Finland representing RBH. It is Greek Games. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the light blue or teal Zerg player from Australia representing Platinum Heroes. It's Uncle Climax. And yes, actually I keep arguing that this is not teal and this is light blue, and we actually solved that mystery as Greek Games is going for a cannon rush. But we actually solved that mystery that apparently this is my screen settings. Or I don't know, I guess not screen but like computer settings in general. That on my specific setup it's just more blue. So there we have it, I guess. Yeah, Uncle Climax does react to this, does pull the drones. there is both a gateway and a cannon here. Oh, splitting the drones, I don't think that's ideal. I think you need 4 drones to make sure that the cannon doesn't finish. So yeah, I think he needs one more. Actually, cancelled. I think it was just enough. Usually I think it's 4. With that, I mean, the main threat is kinda gone because this is just a gateway and the gateway itself is not that much of a problem. Just have to make sure that no probes come anywhere near and then you can slowly finish off this pylon. But oh, the probe is coming back. Creep is spreading. I don't think this probe is putting more buildings down. Oh, look at this gateway. Look, it's all creeped all over. Yeah, now that the Zerglings are out, I think this aggression is pretty much over. I mean, it's still possible that Regains, like, you know, tries to warp in a cheeky something like a Zealot or an Adept, but he doesn't even have Cybercore finished and building a unit would take way too long. So, yeah. Nicely done by Uncle Climax. He does not fall to the cannon rush. Or the cannon gateway rush, I guess. And you know, sure, the thing is he had to dedicate some resources, he had to pull the drones off the line, he had, you know, he would make these Zerglings anyway, so like that's not that much of a problem. But his economy definitely suffered a bit. As at the same time, you know, Regains was able to just set up his natural base, although he doesn't have it saturated yet. Okay. Try. Can we get the name up? Yay! There you go. Now it's working. I did try to fix it between the games. Eric say, this is hell for Zerg, all this storm. Zerg say, yeah I know, I felt it just a few minutes ago. Yeah, I believe Zerking is Samosel. And he did feel that storm on his Zerg units, definitely. Anyway, we have Oracle on the way for Rick. I don't know, when I hear Rick games, I'm thinking of sort of. I'm pretty sure he's also Rick, isn't he? Meanwhile, for our Zerg player, yes, lovely Extractor Puro, we have a Roach Warren this time. So not going for Hydras. Hydras clearly have no luck today. Or 2 different players already tried the Hydras and it didn't really work very well for either of them. So this time it will be Roaches. Oh, once again, going with speedless Zerglings. So really focusing on the Roaches, and I mean that could be a little bit of a tell for Rick Games that he sees those speedless Zerglings at this point of the game. So even if he didn't see the building, that could tell him that probably Uncle Climax is focusing on the next stage, but he did see the Roach Warren, so he knows that it will be Roaches. The Oracle tries to get into the natural base, but is not, or sorry, the main base, but there is a spore already. So it's only revealing. Anyway, that's a really nice color, that orange. Ah. Nice raid. And Rick Games is going for Blink, actually. Wait, is Charge already done? Oh no, it's Blink first. Okay. Interesting, interesting. We also have a proxy location here from Rick Games, warping in some stalkers already. Looks like he wants to prepare an army over here and maybe march forward towards the Zerg. I mean, the creep is spread quite far already, but I don't know how much of a notice this will give to Uncle Climax. First roaches are popping out. They do have their upgrade. And that's it. That's the only upgrade that they have. Actually, the ranged attack just completed. It looks like Uncle Climax may be getting ready to go across the map. And then these stalkers would be quite painful. More and more are warping in, but at the same time the creep is spreading. They are barely out of vision, and now they're coming into vision. I mean, the roaches are still here. He should be able to rotate him. He will be losing overlords, which does supply block them. Supply blocking though. And the roaches are getting a nice concave here. They're taking down the stalkers one by one. More Zerglings are streaming in. And this time they do have speed. And yeah, this attack is completely deflected by Uncle Climax. Very nicely done. He's also destroying the proxy location, which is very important here. And actually going forward with this unit, that may be a little bit brave, but at the same time, I mean, if you see this entire Protoss army here, that means that it's not back at home, so maybe this is the time to counter-attack. And you know, it takes a bit of time for the Protoss to amass a number of units, so, you know. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like Climax has caught on that. And he's moving across the map right through the middle, denies this potential base that was being set up here. A few more stalkers in defense, and few of them I think they returned from across the map. But there are Zerglings here, there are roaches here, and they are marching forward. There is one shield battery in the wall, so this wall won't be that easy to force. But more roaches are streaming in. But with the cannon, yeah, this is a lot of damage from the Protoss. I don't think Uncle Climax should keep going, yeah. He did overstay his welcome him a little bit. You know, it's that thing where like you have that taste, you know, of victory, like, oh, I can totally break this, but then you see that wall, it's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't break this, you know? But he can take down most of these stalkers, which is definitely very beneficial there. In the meantime, we did get Banelings, and they do have Bane speed. We have more upgrades for our Zerglings as well, and even Hive is on the way. So we'll see where Uncle Climax transitions to next, as he's chasing down these stalkers around the map. In the meantime, what do we have going for Rick Games? I mean, it looks like it's just gateways. He just fully focused on the big stalkers. There's no further transition so far. And yeah, we have more Zerg units streaming in. The cannon was actually destroyed. I guess, yeah, the cannon was blocking the walls, so I think Rick Games had to destroy it to you know, get out of his own base. And without the cannon, the roaches do have a bit more chance here, but oh, they are streaming to the choke point. Yeah, the roaches will be cleaned up. More reinforcements are trickling in from the Zerg. And the Zerglings will actually do good damage against the Stalkers, as the Blink is still on cooldown. But yeah, it will be difficult to get through this wall. Honestly, at this point I wonder if Uncle Climax should have just focused like the Forge with the roaches, because he does have a lot. He did have a lot of roaches, so I wonder how many shots it would take to just destroy the building. But once again, Rick Games moves out on the map, but he is being surrounded by Zerglings and will be losing most of his gateway army. And with that, GG's called. Uncle Climax ties up the series 1-1. Nicely done. As we have our next map, and it will be Winter Madness. Also, I saw Sugarcoat in the in-game chat saying, "May the glucose be with you." It's always fun. Okay. Lovely. Okay, blue, red. Ready? Okay, GHF. Okay, let's go. And welcome! Welcome to Winter Madness for the game number 3 for our best of 3 series. We are currently tied up 1-1 and in the bottom right corner of the map. There we go. We have the first of our players. We have our red Protoss player representing RBH and coming from Finland. It is Rick Games. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the light blue or teal Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes and coming from Australia. It is Uncle Climax. Going for a patch first. The gas check, I think. Okay. No forge, so no cannon rushes this time. Although Rick Games like to tease it by going with the probe around the mineral lines, just to see how the Zergs respond. But Uncle Climax is secure. He does have that Overlord. That's a thing that's like a good habit to when you're playing versus Protoss, to have your Overlord on top of the natural for the beginning of the game, so in case there is a cannon rush you can see it immediately. Basically your first Overlord goes across the map and your second Overlord goes to the natural first. Yeah, nothing too much of the ordinary. Big Games does take his natural base. He has all the cybernetics for. Oh, actually going for. Okay, he changed a few times, but he does go for an adept first. Okay, the wall has not been finished, but it can of course be plagued at any time. Oh, just chilling. Ooh, and we do go for Forge quite early. Forge? Ah, my ball. What is wrong with me today? We do have a forge. So I wonder if this is just for, you know, just for upgrades. Yeah, I think it's just for upgrades as Twilight Council is coming down. Because it would be funny if it would be like a late cannon rush, because, I mean, look. Nobody would expect it this late, right? One adept coming into the natural base and it has to shade out with barely any health left. He's being joined in by a stalker. Both of our players taking the third base at around the same time. And we have charge on the way for the Protoss. Oh, I didn't even realize that Overlord speed was researched. That's very interesting. Very early Overlord speed, but I mean, you know, all this information that you can get. Very, very nice there for Climax. And this Overlord just barely survives as well. Yeah, Lair is about to be finished. It's like halfway through. So we'll see what it will be before. We do have Baneling Nest on the way. So maybe Baneling Speed, but I assume there will be something more. We'll see if it's like Roaches or Hydras. Unless he is playing Link Bane. No, Black Panther in the chat. For our Protoss we have a Robo, we have a Templar Archives as well. So I assume soon enough we will see that Protoss army coming up. Probably some gateway units, probably some Archons as well. We'll see if the Robo will be actually used for any Robo units or if it will be just, you know, like a War Priest just for reinforcements. Could also just be Immortals. Double Evo on the way for the Zerg. Yeah, it's just Baneling Speed. He's just playing Link Bane. Straight up. Getting a 4th base at the same time. Okay, Regame's preparing this warping point here outside of the Zerg base. I don't know what I said, Zerg. Honestly, my brain just defaulted to something and I don't even know what it was. English is not my first language. As much as like I use it so often that it's become natural to me, but that doesn't mean that it makes sense to me. To be perfectly. I will say it's very difficult to say a lot of words when people are listening. It's usually when you say the silliest things. Anyway, we have this Warpings coming up with double Archon drop actually. It's not something you see too often nowadays. It used to be like the main thing Protoss did at some point. Ooh, but they get surrounded by the Link Bane. I mean, they do. Archons do pretty well against Link Bane, but not against this many, I guess. And by sheer numbers, they do overpower them. The Queens, of course, helped as well, and the Zealots will be surrounded as well. Too many as well. The Warpies does save the other Archon though. But the Archon cannot really help. Every time it's dropped down, it's being attacked by this massive force of Link Bane. And now Rigames has to set up a defense, but how do you even defend against this at this point of the game? Yeah, the 3rd base will have to be I mean, to be fair, no. They are Archons, okay, the Archons can do a lot of damage. And they are being saved by the Warpies as well, they are being juggled. But just the sheer number of Zerglings will completely demolish this base. They won't have as easy time to get into the natural though. So that's a different story. The 3rd base is though very uncovered though. "22 probes going down." I mean, the Nexus did survive, so hey, didn't take the base itself, but yeah, that is a lot of probes to. Oh, okay, yeah. Uncle Climax has done this before, blocking every other base with the Overlord, so it will be annoying for Regames to expand, and whenever he does, the Zerg will be notified about it. And here's another wave of Link Bane. In the meantime, back in the base, a Spire is being erected, I guess. There is a Spire on the way, so there will be Mutas coming, I assume. Maybe for upgrade. The Banelings go right into the Archons, but look how many Banelings it took to even do any damage to the Archon. That's what I'm saying, that like, Link Bane is not ideal versus the Archons, but it's just the fact that the sheer numbers of Link Bane is just what is giving anticlimax victory in those battles. But this wall is solid. It's a solid wall. The Immortal is in the way, and Zealot is protecting the Immortal. Very cinematic. The shield barrier in the back just lost the last of its energy, so it's not able to help. But look, the Immortal is fully healthy, so the Zerglings cannot get in. That's what I was saying, that like this wall is solid, so natural will be difficult to take for the Zerg, but it's just the third base is way more open. Funland? Sure. We do not have the letter. I don't know what the letter is called properly, but we don't have that letter in Polish, but I did learn German at some point, so I do know how to say it. As the War Priest is being sniped by those mutas. They did pop out. But it also means that Rick Games knows about the mutas. Oh, but all these High Templars going across, they will be caught by the Zerglings. I mean, the storms will be going down, and look at this, how much damage they do to the Zerglings, but not quick enough as the Zerglings are just streaming in, surrounding this army. The GG is called. Anticlimax will be taking this series 2-1 and going to the semi-finals. Very nicely done for Anticlimax then. Like, this game was really nice from Anticlimax. He was constantly, you know, the one like controlling the game with the aggression. Like, you can say that sometimes Anticlimax is a little bit too aggressive, which I get. Like, that is something I do a lot in my games whenever, because I also do play Zerg, by the way, so you know. But I am also guilty of that, when like you have that feeling that you could break that wall, you can break that base, but like it's not quite enough. So, you know, we're both guilty of that. But nonetheless, this was a very nice game, very solid there, and you know, with that, it's 2-1 for Anticlimax, and let's see what our bracket looks like. Okay, so Anticlimax goes to the semi-finals, where he will meet Sugarcoat. Sugarcoat the second did take Star Knight 2-1 as well, so we had both games going to game 3, both matches, and we actually have a ZVZ semi-final. Very nice, very nice. ZVZs are very uncommon in StarCraft right now. Even though the funny part is, like, a few years ago, Duckling Open was called, you know, jokingly called ZVZ Duckling Open, because we just had so many ZVZs. But for the past few years, it's not been that intense. Anyway, in the meantime, we have Pretty Fly taking down Valley 2-0 and waiting in the semi-finals. And Miska Boy, as we learned, took down Blue Knight 2-0 and is currently facing Libre. With that, I believe we are ready for our semi-finals. Okay, let's get Sugarcoat in here. Okay. The ladders have met. What? I do not understand the reference, Sugarcoat. Oh, true! They both have the ladder portraits. True. The ladders have met indeed. XD. Okay, so we have this set up. Still waiting for the predictions to crash. And we are starting on 10,000 feet. Yeah, what is chat saying? What have I missed? Okay. I think we have everything hopefully working. Okay. 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 Hey, hold on. Okay, players are ready. I think I am ready. Let's go. Like, trying to do too many things at once. I don't even know what chat is talking about at this point, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me fix this. Okay, we are good. Welcome to the semi-finals of Duckling Open number 143, where we are on 10,000 feet. And in the bottom right corner we have the first of our players. It is the orange Zerg player from Latvia, representing Clan Devoid. It is Sugarcold the Second. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the teal Zerg player, or light blue Zerg player from Australia. Or Australia? I don't trust any of my pronunciations anymore. Representing Platinum Heroes, it is Uncle Climax. And let's properly open predictions this time. Says predictions. I have to check. Are the predictions actually open? They are actually open. Okay, cool. Nice. Nah, I'm just not gonna read chat. I'm lost. I'm lost. It looks like both of our players opting for the... I think this was a hatch first into pool, right? But they are mirroring each other perfectly. So, no particular aggression from either side. But we'll see what will be their next choice. Ooh, interesting. Uncle Climax actually going for a very quick Roach Warren, so skipping the Zerglings entirely. And yeah, just going straight for Roaches, but the Roach Warren is all the way in the back, so if Sugarcoat only checks the front, he won't be able to realize what is happening. Oh, but Sugarcoat is going for a Roach Warren of his own. And it is in the front. Ooh, actually even getting a spine. Oh, is Sugarcoat afraid that... Oh, is it because he saw that there was no buildings here, so he's just afraid that something cheeky is happening? Maybe. But that's... I mean... It's arguable if that's the case. I mean, look. Ever since the Roach Warren put out, like, all Uncle Climax has been doing is making roaches. Like, all the larvae he has, everything goes into roaches. A few Zerglings as well, for good measure. So he will be going very aggressive with those roaches. So maybe this spine crawl will be justified after all. But now Sugarcoat is able to make the roaches of his own. Oh, and this Overlord should be able to spot the roaches sneaking by. Yeah, he sees that they're going across the map. Oh, even putting a hatchery down to further block the entrance to the natural. We'll see how this fight goes. Neither player has any upgrades, so this is purely based on numbers here. A few Zerglings are trying to help on the front. Oh, this... Hello. The Zergling was just floating. That was so weird. But yeah, with that defense, Uncle Climax sees that, he's like, okay, I'm not going into that, and he just takes a third base. He actually completely switches away from this. Takes a third base, lair, and just prepares for the next stage of the game. Meanwhile, Sugarcoat's still very protective of his base, but he does switch into drones. So we'll be thinking of his economy as well. I don't know either what we're talking about. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Both our players getting the range upgrades, but Uncle Climax does get the roach speed much before Sugarcoat does. Sugarcoat only now working on the lair, so he's not able to get that for a while. He does have this extra hatchery though. It's in the natural, so it's basically a macro hatch. But that does mean that he has that much more larvae. This third base is completely not drone though, so basically this third base from Uncle Climax is also kind of a macro hatchery. It's only being used on larvae, no actual drones are used there. So yeah, it looks like both of our players are getting ready for round 2, just amassing roaches, working on the upgrades. Yeah, we'll see who gets it in the second round. Something important to point out is that Sugarcoat does have way more gas, as he does actually work on 4 extractors. The 4th one is not fully saturated, but nonetheless he does have more gas that way. More gas income, I should say. Once again, Uncle Climax slightly faster on the upgrades. Obviously, by the time they meet, it looks like they will be even. But, you know, soon enough, Uncle Climax once again will be ahead a little bit. Sugarcoat tries to expand here to this forward third. Get some Ravagers as well. Ooh, this changeling will see what's happening. So Uncle Climax is aware of the threat and decides not to attack, but rather reinforce back at home, and yeah, even starting to saturate the space a little bit. Chad is having way too much fun today with the names. Yeah, both of our players basically are just amassing armies, getting some Ravagers into those armies as well. Sugarcoat does have way more Ravagers. So we'll see how that plays out. Actually, they're about even. It's like 4 to what? 5? Yeah. Supply-wise, they are very close. Uncle Climax does overtake Sugarcoat a little bit. But it's only by a few roaches, I believe. Maybe... yeah, must be a few roaches. Maybe like 2, 3. No, actually, what am I saying? Yeah, now he's actually taking a bit better advantage. How much supply are roaches? Why do I not remember the numbers? But now Uncle Climax moves across the map. There is a party ready here to welcome him to the base. And Sugarcoat is going down the ramp straight into the army of Uncle Climax. We'll see who has the superior army here, but yeah, it looks like the concave is much better for Uncle Climax. The upgrades are also on his side. We have to remember he did get that +2 way earlier. And has an upgrade on the Carapace as well. That Sugarcoat's army is getting cleaned up. There are still roaches left over for Uncle Climax. There's some reinforcements coming for our orange Zerg player, but they're not that many. The upgrades are about to finish for Sugarcoat, so they would be tied up, but again, the timing was perfect. Or Uncle Climax, he used the advantage that he had, and with that, he's taking game number 1. So GG there for Uncle Climax. And let's see. What will be game number 2? Okay. GLH. Welcome. Welcome to Title Citadel. There we go. Where? In the top left corner, we have the first of our players. It is the orange Zerg player from Latvia, representing Clan Devoid. It is Sugarcoat II. And in the bottom right corner, we have the teal Zerg player, coming from Australia, representing Platinum Heroes. It is Uncle Climax. They just do the whole thing, like in announcer voice, like the calm announcer. can tell when Queer's voice is getting tired, because then she starts to speak like that. Yeah, it was very nice timing for Uncle Climax in the last game. He was very diligent on getting the upgrades and was able to out-upgrade Sugarcoat. I mean, that's the thing, like, he just get his lair way earlier than Sugarcoat, so he was able to start on the upgrades beforehand. And then he just, you know, continued to work on them throughout the series. And that worked out for him very well. This time though, it looks like we will differ a little bit. Sugarcoat with much earlier pull this time. Already working on speed, already getting some Zerglings as well. But this must have been a pull first. Okay, we're getting more Zerglings. We'll be up to 8. Yeah, okay, Sugarcoat going aggressive. No more drones on the way, only Zerglings. And we'll see how Uncle Climax responds to that. Ooh, let's see. He is taking the Roach Warren once again. Question is, will he wall? He is making a decent wall. Although it is not perfect. I mean, yeah, I think this is, yeah, I think this should be good enough. I don't know if Queen can fill into this hole though. I think Queen should be enough, right? Yeah, it looks enough. It looks enough. Okay, okay. Climax did see the Zerglings coming with the Overlords and actually is reinforcing that wall, so even trapping that Queen on the outside, as it will be fighting valiantly against the Zerglings, but the Zerglings actually focus the road for him. Interesting choice there for Sugarcoat. The Queens are trying their best to fend off this attack. The wall is being reinforced. It looks like it will hold solid. The few roaches did pop out for Uncle Climax. Spine is now finished and it will help with his defense. Sugarcoat is still sending more Zerglings. They are streaming across the map and we will see if they will be able to break this. Okay, the wall is cancelled. There are now a few roaches in the base. And yes, Sugarcoat realizes Sugarcoat cannot break this wall and actually goes back. Actually goes back to droning. Duckling drinking coffee when as an emote. I mean, we could? Question mark? We do have the water drinking duck already. So I don't know if we need another drinking emote. On that note, if you have some nice emote suggestions, then feel free. Maybe, like, I think we do have some slots free, so like at some point we may commission another one. Just not sure when. As interesting development here for Sugarcoat, as he actually takes this gold base as a ninja base. Very interesting. Meanwhile, Uncle Climax did rebuild that Roach Warren and is working on Roach speed. Still in a defensive mode for the time being. Sugarcoat takes a macro hatchery in base too. Okay. And now Uncle Climax is moving out. Speed is only halfway done, so it probably won't be finished by the time he reaches the other base. Right? Yeah, it won't be finished, but it should finish at least during the fight. The +1 melee will finish though. I guess we'll see how well they go against Zerglings. And there will be a lot of Zerglings. Sugarcoat is making way more right now. And I mean, Sugarcoat has the power of 3 hatches here, the power of 3 3 hatches full of larvae, and these roaches, again, they are still slow. Speed is about to finish, but they are being surrounded. Even drones are being pulled. No, Sugarcoat gave away the base. That was actually a transfer to the gold base, and Alco Climax saw all of it. I don't know, to be fair, if he was paying attention, considering that he was trying to save his roaches. But that was very, very obvious there. Right as the roaches were attacking, Sugarcoat, no. Yeah, I think Uncle Climax knows that something is not right. Why are the drones across the map? And yeah, this gold base will be found out. And it will be destroyed. Ooh, but the Zerglings actually come for the defense. But that said, the roaches are nicely tucked here in between the mineral line and the hatchery, so the Zerglings cannot get a good surface area. The hatchery will go down. So will most of the roaches, if not all of them actually. But still, the gold base has been denied. What's next? We have a Binding Nest for Uncle Climax. Sugarcoat is trying to set up a proper third base this time. A linear one. No gas mining pretty much. And so still focusing on Zerglings. Okay, meanwhile Uncle Climax gets a third of his own. Ooh, and Sugarcoat double expanding, actually getting a fourth as well. But still making more Zerglings, still focusing on that Zerg army. The Zerg army, you don't say, Kuro! It's not like they're playing Zerg! You know what? I think I need coffee. As the roach army from Uncle Climax is moving out, this time we have a few Banings, and they do even have speed, so they will be very dangerous to the Zergling of Sugarcoat. But Sugarcoat actually goes around. The both armies miss each other. Oh, but now Sugarcoat returns and returns straight into the Banings. The Banings go right for the Zerglings, and they are on move command. And like half of the army is already destroyed as it reaches the roaches. The roaches also destroyed quite quickly as they are up on upgrades. So some of the roaches are staying here to clean up the third base. The rest of them were trying to go into the natural, but they are also being ambushed by the reinforcing Zerglings. But nonetheless, there are so many roaches here for Uncle Climax. The Queen is trying to stand strong, but isn't able to. Mutas are about to pop out, but Mutas don't really do well against roaches, and definitely not in these numbers. Drones are being evacuated, but there is no base there to evacuate them to, so they will be just, you know, going around the map. Natural goes down, and now the roaches are getting into the main base of Sugarcoat. A bit stuck on the ramp, I think. The Mutas do pop out, and they will try to fight these roaches, but roaches are very tanky, so it will take a long time for the Mutas to do anything. The drones are falling on every base. And with that, GG is called. Uncle Climax takes the semifinals 2-0. Very, very nice there. Like I can definitely see that Uncle Climax is very strong with the roaches. Like both all of the games we've seen that he has been going roaches have been very strong for him. So yeah, congratulations. Very nice. Let me make sure that the predictions are paid out as well. Oh, as it looks like, let us quickly take a look at the bracket. It looks like we are still waiting for the other semi-final. Miska Boy is 1-0 up 1-0 versus Libre, but they are not quite finished yet with their series. And the winner will be going against Pretty Fly. So I guess we will be waiting for that series to complete, and once we are back, we will have that second semi-finals. Be right back. welcome back! Welcome back to Sea Duckling Open number 143, our monthly tournament for up to 4.2k MMR, so around diamond level. And we are here in the other semi-finals, the top semi-finals, which are currently about to begin. We are on 10,000 feet, where in the top left corner we have our red Zerg player representing Lonely. That's a new clan that we have not seen before. We will get back to that though. It is Miska Boy. I actually have to double check with him if that's how it's pronounced. But anyway, across the map we have his opponent. It is the pink Protoss player representing United 19. It is Pretty Fly. Also known as Horseradish. Actually, let me change that, because he actually is now going by Pretty Fly. Like, consistently. There you go. Oh, did I not... Hold on, did I just do a thing and then not save it? No, okay, I did. Cool. And in the meantime, let's get those predictions started. Okay, now I think we have everything ready. What is this? Okay. So many things to click through. Anyway, we have our ZVP coming up. Very interesting pool placement here from Miska Boy. And we'll see how things go. Pretty Fly not starting with Cannon Rush or any of the like, just, you know, just regular wall expansion before Cybernetic Score. He does have this probe hidden over here though. So we'll see what that one is for. I assume maybe some proxy Stargate or something. The other probe is scouting normally though. And it is a proxy that is Overlord C, just barely not. Okay, just barely misses the Spylon. The probe of course being very annoying back in the base as well. What am I reading in the chat? Anyway, we have a forge here from Pretty Fly. This I assume will be just for upgrades though. I mean, the time for Cannon Rush has already passed. As Miska Boy actually getting a third base already. Before throwing any additional tech. Ooh, pulls out of gas! And goes just straight for link speed, so maybe we will see some committed aggression here soon enough. At the same time we have an adept coming in, but only scouting, only checking out what's up. And there is indeed that proxy Stargate on the way. Again, this was not scouted by Miska Boy as the Overlord just barely missed the placement. And now speed is about to be finished. Still more drones on the way though. And yeah, getting more extractors back to gas, so okay. So this will not be anything extreme, just, you know, optimizing the resource income. Okay. And our Zerg player is going for a Roach Warren. Lair has already started too. Ooh, but at the same time we have a proxy Void Ray from Pretty Fly. And there will be more coming as well. And as we know, Void Rays are pretty good against Roaches of all things. So very unfortunate for Miska Boy. Actually, I mean, I don't want to say that Roaches are very common from the Zerg, so also like Pretty Fly probably prepares for that. There's an Overlord here, but by the time it sees the Void Rays, it will be probably too late to react. I mean, what can you do? You can get some spores, I guess. There are no spores yet, so Miska does not get them preemptively. There are not that many queens, as there's only one per base. Oh, there are two with the natural, I guess. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Two Void Rays already there, more coming up. Second Stargate as well. I guess Pretty Fly is like, yeah, you didn't notice this. I guess I may as well get more. Meanwhile, back at home, he is getting Twilight Council though, so he will also have some ground army standing. Oh, there's a quick Overlord coming in from Miska. And what does it see? It sees a stock and sees this base is fairly empty for this point of the game. Like, hold on. What have you been doing this whole time? But the Void Rays are amassing. More and more are being built. 2 Stargates at a time. Meanwhile, the Zerg player getting more roaches, getting the roach speed as well. And now the Void Rays are on the move. Queens will try to hold it, but I mean, there are 4 of them, only 3 now. Okay, microing the Void Rays as well. Very nice, very nice. But pairs of them will go down. Queens are pretty strong in the end. But I mean, there's more where this came from. There are 2 Stargates Void or Void Ray production. Oh, I guess Pretty Fly is stopping the Void Rays now. At the same time, with the roaches are now across the map. Oh, and actually break through the wall. That was unexpected. The wall is not properly secured and the Void Rays had to be recalled to fend off this attack. Also unpowering all the buildings here, including the upgrade that was currently on the way. Again, the good part for Pretty Fly is that Void Rays are really good at dealing with roaches, so these attacks will be fended off. But yeah, that was very unfortunate there. The wall was not properly secured and the Zerg was able to get in. The proxy was also found out. Ooh, loses that Stalker warp in as well. With all that said, does Miska have enough to defend? Oh, he has Hydras now. He did get Hydra then in the meantime as all of this was happening. And with Hydras, I think the Void Rays are not nearly as effective. Yep, we hit the 8-minute mark, so the blockades have been lifted. This proxy is also now more uncovered. Let's see where our players want to go next. Our Zerg is working on upgrades. We have Burrow on the way, almost finished. We have the upgrades for Melee and Carapace. We have upgrades for the Hydras as well. Hydra range is about to be finished. Meanwhile, on the side of the Protoss, Colossus is currently in production. I don't think Thermal Lens is... No, Thermal Lens is not there yet. So it still has to be researched. We do have +1 attack for the Protoss. Now Miska is setting up more bases. The 5th base is on the way. A lot of queens in this army this time. After that original Void Ray attack, a lot more queens has been made. And they are spreading creep across the map as well. Ooh, and Lurker then is currently underway. So there will be Lurkers in this army. Meanwhile, Pretty Fly getting charge. Kinda late for the charge, but nonetheless, it is coming up. He was focusing on those Void Rays early on, after all. But yeah, this army does not look big, but we'll see how it does. Now it looks like he may be looking for this position over here on the ledge. The Colossus could probably try to hit that, but not without Thermal Lance. True, true. Thermal Lance has only just started. We do have 3 Colossus in this army though, which is pretty nice for Pretty Fly. Now the Roach Hydra army is chasing after the Protoss. We have a War Priest here for some help. Okay, warping in some more Stalkers. The Stalkers do have Blink. And charge is about to be finished, so I assume the next reinforcement should be in Zealots. Now the Roach Hydra, with the help of the Queens, is facing this Protoss army. Ooh, the Colossus goes down. The Void Rays are cleaned up. Another Colossus comes for reinforcements, but it looks like the Protoss army is being pushed away. Actually, 4 Colossus went down. 1 more is still here, but it's already badly damaged, and if it gets focused, it will be going down as well. Yeah, and Miska is chasing this down. The last Colossus falls, and now it's just the Stalkers, and it looks like they will be cleaned up. Well, we have a Viper. Ooh, but the Viper is on move command, gets sniped by the Stalkers. Very unfortunate. Ooh, but we have some sneaky attack here from Pretty Fly. The War Priest gets straight into the main base, as the fight was happening in the middle of the map. And this is where the Zealot Warping comes in. But it is being spotted by by Miska, I mean. So the Zealots won't actually be able to do damage. At the same time, Miska is in the base of Pretty Fly. Just zerging so not really a big army, just mostly a distraction, but the rest of the army is not far behind. Now Roach Hydra join in. There's only gateway units to defend. The Colossus are on the way. I mean, we have 3 Colossus at a time and they're about to pop out. But now the Lurkers are here. We actually have no observers. There was one with the army. Yeah, there is one. Ooh, the Colossus get pulled straight into the Zerg army. Only one of them survived. The Lurkers are attacking the natural base, meanwhile the rest of the army is at the Ooh, another Colossus gets pulled, and that was the last Colossus here. Pretty Fly actually switching to Disruptors, interestingly enough. At the same time, a small gateway army from the Protoss going across the map to maybe try to distract the Zerg. As the slow siege is commencing. Okay, the Disruptors are trying to deal with this single Lurker, and that's their shots for the time being. At the same time, the rest of the Lurkers are sieging the bases. Meanwhile, the Zerg army actually comes back for this attack from Pretty Fly. Stalkers are trying to focus the Vipers as they're trying to gain energy. Actually take down one of them. Pretty Fly has been slowly cleaning up these Lurkers with the Disruptors, but they are just being leapfrog forward, so every time he tries, he has to spend his shot on a single Lurker, so it just takes a lot of time. So with that, GG is called, and Miska Boy takes game number 1. That's pretty bad. Because I'm not actually not the party leader right now, and the players made the lobby, and I'm the player, and both players say ready. I'm like, that you're not ready unless you're choosing me as your champion to play. That's pretty funny. Oh boy. Welcome then to Tourmaline, the second map in our semi-final. As a reminder, Uncle Climax waits in the finals for one of these players. First up, in the top right corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player representing Slony. It is Miska Boy. And across the map, we have our pink Protoss player representing United 19. It is Pretty Fly. Hatch first from our Zerg player. And just regular seems like opening from the Protoss as well. Mishka's pool. Once again, Miska going for this pool next to the hatchery, like right in the front. Which is an interesting placement, I feel like. Ah, the spray. It's so bright that I cannot actually say what's on it. Oh, I see it now. It's Boboros. It's the sorry, it's Bob Toss. There's like a way to see. I don't know why, but there are a few sprays that just, because of the boosted colors, they just get very bright. Oh, there's a toast as well. Cool. Cool. But yeah, there are just these few sprays that just get really bright, and you cannot really see what's on them. Maybe Blizzard should fix that. Yeah, for those who don't know, there is a setting in the game to boost colors, the team colors. Basically, normally they're like more washed out, but if you make them boosted, they really like pop out, which makes it much simpler to see for a broadcast. That's why most streamers that you see, like most casters that you see, probably have it turned up, just because it's much easier to see. But yeah, it has some weird effects sometimes because of it. The boosted team colors also help with stuff like Archons will be colored then, or scans for Terran will also be colored, like stuff like that. Well, we have a Stargate for Pretty Fly. This time in the main base, no proxy. And it is an Oracle. So, you know, pretty normal, pretty normal. Okay, let me check. Where is this? Okay, I will take a look at this later. Who dares to message me during the stream? Well, we have a third hatchery for Miska Boy. And a third base for Pretty Fly as well, so... not too far from the timing, although, you know, this hatchery is about to be finished, so there is a bit of a gap, but they're actually pretty close with the bases. Oracle is now on the way across the map. We have one adept, only a single one it looks like. And it is caught by the Zerglings, so it doesn't look like it will be helped with the harassment across the map. Oracle also hesitated for a little bit. He's trying to help that adept maybe. It's a drone at the third base. Ooh, some transferring workers as well. Very lucky there for Pretty Fly as they just popped in there. But there are many queens in the natural base and this Oracle stands no chance. Ooh, we have another adept here now in the pair. As again, its partner has already been destroyed. And this one will be going down as well. In total, 6 workers going down. Which is nice, but definitely could be better considering this was 2 adepts and an oracle. But unfortunately they were not synchronized and that definitely minimized the damage. Minimize is not the right word. But yeah, it could have went much better for Pretty Fly, definitely. But nonetheless, he did take down those few drones. Meanwhile, Miska going for a roach warrant, so we transitioning to the roaches. Ooh, and once again we see a Void Ray from Pretty Fly. But this time I assume this is just one. This is something that Protoss do. Usually they do it way earlier. But it's also possible to do it at this point. That they just get like a single Void Ray just to chase away Overlords. So the Zerg does not have vision of what is happening across the map. I mean, at the same time, Pretty Fly is getting a Robo, he's getting the Twilight Council, so I don't think he's committing to the Stargate in any way. Yeah, and we see the Void Ray is hunting down the Overlords. He's going, ooh, misses this one. But the Overlords are now speedy. The speed has been researched, but nonetheless, the Void Ray is able to deal with them. I think he might do, yeah, he sees the second Overlord, the one that he missed. He's going right into the base and sees everything, sees the Robo, sees the Robo Bay as well. So Colossus will be following shortly. Or maybe Disruptors. I mean, we did see Disruptors last game, although I think it was situation. I think the Disruptors were there for the Lurkers specifically. So yeah, we have Colossus on the way. I was gonna say that, like, I think unless the Lurkers show up again, I don't think Pretty Fly will be getting Disruptors. I think this was more like just to deal with that specific situation of being sieged. That said, we have a small contingent of roaches here coming for the third base of Pretty Fly. I mean, it's pretty well fortified, but there are not that many units in here. Roaches are making short work of the few buildings that there are. The probes are evacuated though. The Void Ray comes in to help. The Stalkers are trying to clean up this attack as well. And it looks like it will be fended off. Although, you know, it's been a bit of an annoyance, but nothing too major. Mostly the lost mining time, really. So looking at the bases, and Pretty Fly is pretty oversaturated. Although, I mean, the gas would probably help, but still, he has a lot of probes. Yeah, the fourth base is coming up. First two Colossi are already joining the army. They don't have a lot of support on the ground, I will say. There's only a few gateway units there, but I'm sure Pretty Fly will be warping in more shortly. I'm gonna assume this is observer speed because I cannot. For those who don't know, there's observer speed and there's warp speed, and their icon is extremely similar. Like it has the same shape. It's like very minor differences. So it's unless you know the icon very well, like it's kinda I guess which one it is. Let's find out. That doesn't help me. Yeah, good one. Anyway, Charge is next in the line, and Templar Archives too. But on the side of the Zerg, we do have the Lurker down, almost finishing, so the Lurkers once again will be on the menu. But before that happens, the Protoss is moving out, 3 Colossus in this army and mostly Stalkers, a few sentries there as well. These are the first to respond, but they see the size of this army and they bring the rest, and it's mostly Hydras. There are some roaches in that army, but it's heavily Hydra. Ooh, some of them are getting caught in the stasis though. One Colossus already going down, but the rest are doing still a lot of damage to this army. Yeah, the queens are starting to burn down. In the end, I think the upgrades are helping the Zerg army here. He's a little bit up, yeah, only now the +2 on the weapons for the Protoss finished. But right before that there was this big advantage of +1/+1 for the Zerg. And +2 on both is about to finish as well. So once again, Miska Boy is a bit up on upgrades there, and that definitely helped him a lot in this specific engagement. So most of the army of the Protoss has been destroyed. All of the Colossus went down. In the meantime, the 4th base has been set up and the probes are being transferred, but once again, there's so many of them. Storm is on the way, the extended thermal lance is on the way as well. But also, there's a fleet beacon. So even before the thermal lance is being finished, Pretty Fly is already preparing for the next transition, for the transition to Skytos. But we'll see if he has time to do so, because the Zerg is already here at his door. Lurkers are digging in, and this wall stands no match. It's immediately unpowered as the pylon is focused and there was only one. And the Roach Hydra army is getting into the base, but it looks like Pretty Fly actually is not planning to defend this Natura and instead goes across the map with this Zealot Stalker army. I mean, true that like Miska Boy is dedicating like his entire army to the attack, but we'll see if it's wise to just counter-attack instead of defending. Ooh, Miska is actually going back home to defend. But just like before, just like last game, he does leave those few lurkers, and the lurkers themselves are sieging the bases. Oh, actually one of the hatcheries goes down, so pretty nicely done by Pretty Fly after all. I think he has a Colossus in this Warpings as well. Yeah, there's a Colossus drop. Actually focusing the Hydra then. It's not exactly a base trade, but it kinda is, you know? Pretty Fly forced to put all of his workers on this single base, as both the main base and the now natural, I guess, are being sieged by lurkers, and actually the entire army of the Protoss is going across the map. The Colossus has been pulled by a Viper and as well as the Warpies, and both went down. But Miska is still losing workers to the Zealots. He was able to get the Ultras out in the meantime. They don't have the chitinous plating yet. Actually, both players are losing a lot of workers here. But I'm afraid that Pretty Fly is a Pretty Boy. That Pretty Fly is in much worse position here, as the lurkers are still in his base, still doing damage. Oh, the mothership will save us. I mean, it's doing damage, true, but the rest of the Protoss army gets caught in the middle of the map, and only a few Stalkers survive. And how is Pretty Fly staying on production? We have a few gateways here. Okay, working on the very intensely on the upgrades here at the 4th base, getting another base here in the corner, but the Zerg army is here. The chitinous plating is about to finish, and with that, GG is called, and Miska Boy is taking on this game, taking the series, and is going to the finals. Ah. Light, can you believe it? Can you believe it? As we look at the bracket, we actually have a ZVZ final for the Duckling Open. It's been a while. It's been a while. Although I think in amateur tournaments it happens more often than in the professional ones. So definitely like not as rare as in, you know, in like the open cups. But still, it's not very common to get ZVZ nowadays. And again, ZVZ Duckling Open is kinda back. We had a lot of Zergs today, I will say. Which is very fun to see. I suppose it's right. Yeah, I suppose it's right, okay. And yeah, we will have a ZVZ in the final. That's fun. Okay, let me get us in a party. First and foremost. Oh yeah, and we have one pixel. Actually, hold on. This is the finals, so 5-minute break. Then raffle, then finals. Okay, so as we are getting ready for the finals, we will get that lobby ready, we'll get the raffle ready most importantly, and we will be back in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. And welcome to Duckling Open number 143. We are here in the finals of our monthly amateur tournament. Again, this is around diamond level, 4.2k MMR max. But before we get to our final, there's one more thing that we have to do. She says as the button once again is not working. Okay. We have one more thing to do. And that is our raffle. Anyway, we are here for the random participant raffle. As a reminder, for those who may not know, in all of our tournaments, so the Duckling Open, Masters 1 Open and Sparkling Tuna Cup, all of those have the random raffle. All of those have this. So I'm trying to read the in-game chat at the same time. Sorry, it is kind of difficult. But all of those have the random raffle, which means that one of the players, no matter if they lost in the first round or if they made it all the way to the finals, one of the players will be $5 richer. Just, you know, as a small token of our appreciation for participating. Like, we can, you know, give prizes to everyone, but at least one random person will get some of the of that prize money as well. So without further ado, let us see who it is. Today everybody was eligible, everybody played their games, so we have 12 eligible players. And the winner of the random raffle is Blue Knight. Congratulations to Blue Knight, who is the winner of today's random raffle. And again, walks away with those $5. Once again, don't forget to get to join the match arena. There you go. To join the match arena to make sure that we can pay you out. Yeah, congratulations to Blue Knight. And with that, let us get into our finals. Okay, now I can read the in-game chat. Hold on, what's going on? Okay, hang on. Four. Just setting up some servers, as we do have EU versus Australia, which is always difficult. Unfortunately, we obviously try to make it as the most fair, but it will be difficult either way, because it's just so far apart. Okay, ready. Okay, GLHF. And we are ready for our finals. It is a ZVZ, something that does not happen all that often nowadays. And it is our finals. Something else we don't see quite as often nowadays, I've noticed, is Mothership. Mothership is a map that's been I feel like it's been very popular during the TLMC part of the tournaments, but it's become a bit less popular nowadays, probably because it's just, you know, so big and stuff. But anyway, we are here as for our game number 1, and we are at the bottom side of the map where we have our blue Zerg player from Platinum Heroes. It is Uncle Climax. And in the top right, we have our red Zerg player representing Zuloni. It is Miska Boy. Going for that hatch first. Of course, the players have to scout each other because this is a free play spawn out, so one of them could have been here. So neither of them knows where the other one is, but it looks like they may get lucky. Uncle Climax actually sending a drone to make sure he knows where the opponent is. Miska Boy might have seen that the drone is coming from the bottom, but it's difficult to tell. You know, you'd have to be actually looking out for that. Ooh, and Uncle Climax actually went for a pull much earlier. Didn't get a hatchery at all. He actually wants to be aggressive here. The first Ducklings are on the way, going across the map. Again, Mothership is a very big map, so it takes a while for those Ducklings to get there. But Uncle Climax will nonetheless try. He is getting a hatchery now, but still more and more Zerglings on the way. He wants to deny this natural of his opponent. Yes, even getting the spine crawler here on the creep. Miska is forced to pull the drones off the line to save his base. Those Zerglings are speedless, which definitely helps, but still they do quite a lot of damage to these drones. 3 already went down. Spine Crawler will finish though, I think. Even though Miska has Zerglings of his own, yeah, the Spine will finish. And the Spine can just one-shot these drones and finish off all the damaged ones. The Queen pops out and does clean up the Spine, but nonetheless, a lot of drones were lost. How many total? 6 drones were lost for 10 Zerglings. In the meantime, the hatchery of Uncle Climax just finished, but again, it's very much later than Miska's, obviously, as he was able to save his. And now he has a bunch of Zerglings that have nothing to do, so they will be going across the map, and speed is already on the way. Meanwhile, Uncle Climax only now starting to even get some gas, so his speed is a while away. Oh, and Uncle Climax is droning. He doesn't have more Zerglings than what you see here. His natural is in danger and he has given up on it. He just pulled the queens on the ramp and makes sure that the Zerglings don't go any farther. Oh, but it looks like actually they will be fighting. The hatchery will survive. The second, I guess, third queen pops out. And yeah, the attack is fended off. Nicely done. We have a Roach Warren coming for Uncle Climax, so he wants to get away from the link phase of the game. Meanwhile, Miska getting a Binding Nest instead, so Miska will be staying on that Link Bane for the time being. Now a Red Zerg player also amassing more and more Zerglings, so we'll see if Uncle Climax actually has the time to get into roaches. Because if Miska gets aggressive, he may not be able to get enough of an army to stand a chance here. He is trying to make up a wall, which will definitely help. Actually, I think this tumor may be blocking it. I think he cannot finish this wall, but the queens are enough to plug it in. That said, the queens are going down, the Zerglings surround them, and now they have free reign of the base. They go straight into the main base to surround another queen. The drones are being pulled off the line to fight this. Roach is just about to pop. And looks like it will be cleaned out, but not before lost. Oh, and Banix now running in. Well, some of them are being intercepted by the roaches, but others may be able to reach the drones, but not enough to kill them. Like, look at them. A lot of them has been damaged, but not killed. But nonetheless, 8 did go down. Looks like the roaches will clean up the rest of the Zerglings, and Uncle Climax survived the worst part of it. But he has to be careful not to get surrounded by these Zerglings. He's trying his best to clamp the roaches to limit the surface area, but nonetheless they will be cleaned up, and with that, GG is called. And Miska Boy will be taking game number 1. Okay. When ready. Let's do 5. Okay. Come on. This time, the casting tool changed thermally into submarine. Close enough. Okay. So welcome to Tourmaline for game number 2 of these finals, where in the bottom left corner we have our blue, or rather teal Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes. It is Uncle Climax. And in the top right corner we have his opponent. Hold on. My keys are not being keys. We have his opponent. It is the red Zerg player representing Zlony. It is Miska Boy. Miska Boy? Yeah. That's my boy, Zerg King says. But yeah, I was gonna say about the clan tag, Zlony. I don't know much about them, but I've seen that there was a tournament hosted by Zlony, so I assume this is the same person, the same group. As in, I don't think that Miska Boy is Zlony, but like I think they're related to those people. So interesting to see that it seems there's another community that's also contributing to the StarCraft scene. Always cool to see. Okay, this time Uncle Climax does go for a hatchery, so not opening with aggression. It's not so far. So we'll see. I mean, right now they are perfectly mirroring each other. There's slight difference in the timing, of course, but the builds are very similar. Ooh, but here we have where they differentiate. Uncle Climax once again goes for an early Roach Warren, even earlier than last time. Yeah, technically earlier because he did commit to the links, but he is going for that Roach Warren. He doesn't even research speed, just straight to Roaches. Meanwhile, Miska just going for regular speed. So he will be using the Zergling and getting a third base at the same time. Ooh, and a lot of Zerglings are on the way, so once again, very similarly to last game, this is a very dangerous time for Uncle Climax. His first Roaches are on the way though. Yeah, and it looks like Miska is actually amassing the Zerglings back at home. So while he may not be aggressive right now, they will definitely help him with that defense. The roaches are going across the map. I think they should... Yeah, they will sleep... Oh no! Okay, they didn't sleep. Just barely. They are visible straight to the Overlord. And the Zerglings will try to surround... Actually, they managed to surround a few of them. They were not together. So, a few of the first roaches will be going down. Again, those Zerglings do have speed. And there are no upgrades on either side. No attack or defense upgrades, should I say. And there are more Zerglings back at home, but there are not that many yet. There are more popping out. Again, Uncle Climax has to be careful because he is getting surrounded. The Zerglings get in between the roaches and they are able to surround them completely. And with that, this attack should be cleaned up. Yeah, just GG straight up is called. Miska Boy is currently up 2-0. Okay. Next map. Yeah, twice Climax went for those roaches, and twice he was stopped by the Zerglings of Miska Boy. Like, it was very unfortunate because the Zerglings were able to get in between the roaches. They just, you know, squeezed in. And yeah, with that, the roaches are not nearly as effective. So we'll see if Uncle Climax can bring it back. I mean, if he can, it has to be now. Because Miska Boy is on match point. You know what? I'm gonna... Okay. Okay. That was funny. Miska is like, ready? I am. And there's like no response. I'm like, oh well. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Zerglings can do very well against roaches when you catch them like that. But we'll see. We'll see if this player can bring it back. Again, this is the last chance for this tournament finals. We have our Teal Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes. It is Uncle Climax. Going for Gastry. And across the map we have his opponent, currently on the match point. Only he needs one more map win to take this entire tournament. It is the Red Zerg player representing Zlony. It is Miska Boy. And he is going for a hatch first. So is Uncle Climax, to be fair. So none of them going for any early pull shenanigans. And I'm curious if Uncle Climax once again wants to go for those early roaches, or maybe he does want to go for something else. I guess one of the reasons why he would go for roaches, you know, is for any ping related issues. But we should be on west now, so this is technically better for him. Roach can beat mass speed. Yeah, like if you have the Zerglings and they're able to surround the roaches, like that's a very difficult fight to take. There's actually a funny story about this. There was a time, okay, there was a time, long time ago in a galaxy far away. Yakuzaku, he was playing Terran. I mean, he still plays Terran. And at some point he tried to like play random and stuff, he tried like different races. And he played ZVZ versus me. And first game, he went Zerglings and I went Roaches. And I just, you know, I destroyed him. And then he's like, okay. So I guess in ZVZ when you see roaches, you cannot really do Zerglings. Okay, he's gonna do roaches. So then, game number 2, Yaku goes roaches. I just go mass Zerglings and they demolish the roaches, and he will never like forgive me that. Because that's how it works. If the Zerglings are able to surround the roaches, they are really good. Okay. So Anchor Climax once again going for roaches, walling off this base. Meanwhile, Miska Boy once again going for Zerglings with Bendingness immediately. I mean immediately. This is fairly standard Bendingness when you're going for a Link Bane. Getting a third base behind that as well. Oh, and this time Anchor Climax is able to get out the upgrades much earlier. So the roaches will actually have +1 on range. But the Zerglings are already going across the map. Speed is about to be finished for Miska Boy. And can Anchor Climax hold this wall? Okay, he's making a backup in case the screen falls. He's making a spine as well. The first roaches are on the way, but there are not many of them. This roach one is in danger, but yeah, the Zerglings are not focusing. They are rather focusing on the Evors. Okay, another secondary blockage is there. Ooh, but one of the Zerglings gets through. So this is not full wall, but the Zergling is helping here. The Zerglings are slipping by, and there's not a lot of them, but they will do damage. They are cleaned up, then another batch though gets in. Will be harassing the drones at the natural base. The spine is being focused. But Anchor Climax has enough roaches to clean this up. And Anchor Climax holds. See, it was a little bit chaotic at times, but he did hold. He did lose a few drones for it. 2 drones in total did go down. But he does hold, and we have roaches coming up. Oh, actually, Anchor Climax getting a Bendingness of his own. Maybe, I mean, to be fair, this is always something good to do in ZVZ, to just like get, you know, 1-2 Banings and just have them at your base. So if any kind of like run by like this happens, they will just, you know, take care of some of it at least. Yeah, seeing that wall, Miska knows that he cannot really attack into that right now. So he regroups with the rest of his Zerglings and will try again. But at the same time, he is switching to roaches behind this. So this is just to keep Anchor Climax in his base, to keep him at bay, as Miska is transitioning himself. Okay, we have Banings. Ooh, he's gonna try. Yeah, good bait there for Anchor Climax. Miska was not paying attention to the Zerglings, and this single Banding was able to get out like almost half of the army, I want to say. Maybe a third of the army. Yeah, that's exactly what you can do with these Banings. Like, you don't even, like, even if they don't, like, actually, you know, take a huge part in the battle, like, you can catch your opponent off guard like that when you know that they are very aggressive with their Zerglings. Like, just having a few Banings can do a lot. But Anchor Climax is moving across the map. He has these Banelings to secure his roaches. And he is up on upgrades, so even though Miska has roaches of his own, they are much weaker than those of Anchor Climax's. One thing to keep in mind though is that Miska does have defender's advantage, so those roaches will be popping out shortly, while Anchor Climax cannot reinforce quite as quickly. Oh, and something very important as well. The roach speed is much faster for our red Zerg player than it is for the blue one. And with that, this attack is over for the time being, I'm afraid. Oh, And with that, just GG's call. Anticlimax does not see a way to take this back. And Miska Boy will be taking this finals 3-0. So GG is called. And with that, Miska Boy is taking this grand finals, taking the entire tournament. So once again, congratulations. Let me quickly update the bracket. And let us quickly take a look. Here we have Miska Boy taking down Anticlimax 3-0. Before that, he took down Pretty Fly, he took down Libre, he took down Blue Knight on the way. Yes, congratulations. And don't forget to join Match Arena. It's pretty funny, but Miska wasn't even he didn't even realize that he won. He won the series. It's like, wait, I won. Yes, you did. Let me quickly link in the Match Arena. But yeah, he did very well today. He did beat quite a few notable players in our tournament, so very nicely done. And yeah, we actually had the ZVZ final. We had a lot of Zerg representation today, which is very interesting to see. I will say, oh yeah, predictions. So yeah, congratulations to Miska Boy once again. And that will be all for today. We make sure that I don't forget. I actually, okay, here's a fun fact. I actually did make notes in the break to make sure that I mention everything today. So first off, if you enjoyed this, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being here. We had quite a few people in the chat. We also had a resub for Quentin Suit and a lot of other support there. So thank you very much for being there. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all the players for participating. Again, we got a nice show up here of 12 players, all very interesting players, and again a lot of Zerg players, which is always great to see, considering that there's not as many of them in other tournaments. So always nice to see a lot of the Zergs showing up, and you know, maybe in the future also showing up in the professional tournaments. Just saying. Of course, here's a quick note. If you are interested in participating in our amateur tournaments, of course, make sure that you have the games. Next week, there was a schedule change. Next week is Masters 1 Open. Next week, the same time, on Saturday, we have Masters 1 Open, which is also an amateur tournament, also a monthly, but Masters 1 Open is up to 4.7k MMR, so it's slightly higher. It's, you know, the lower master ranks are up there, so if you are in the rank of 4.7k MMR and below, then you can participate in Masters 1 Open, which is next week. It was supposed to be in 2 weeks, but because of some schedule changes, it actually has to be moved to the other way, so it will be next week, next Saturday. So the brackets for that will be up soon. Make sure to check them out on the Discord or on our socials. And tomorrow, on the Sunday, we have Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is our weekly tournament, but Sparkling Tuna Cup is open to everybody. Amateurs can play in it, pros can play in it, there are no restrictions on how many games you need. You just need to sign up and you can play, but keep in mind that you may face you may play against Björn, you know? I'm not promising anything, but it may happen. But anyway, if you like these tournaments, if you enjoyed this tournament, if you want to see more of the Duckling Opens, Masters 1 Opens, and the Sparking Tuna Cups, then don't forget to check out our Patreon. If you have some spare change, then maybe consider supporting the Patreon. This is how we fund our tournaments. These 3 tournaments are entirely funded via Patreon, so the Patreon is directly supporting this tournament specifically. So thank you very much to all our Patreons, because we've been getting a lot of support on Patreon for the past few years, and especially the past year. I feel like there's just been a lot of support on Patreon, and we are almost at our next goal, which will boost the prize pool for Sparkling Tuna Cup a little bit more. So if you have some spare change, if you have some budget that you can use, then consider supporting us on Patreon to see those tournaments grow even further. Other than that, our next broadcast will of course be in how many hours? In 11 hours, I want to say, more or less. We will have another broadcast of Luli Cup 2025 Grand Finals. That will be the final broadcast of Luli Cup. So if you want to check that out, then Light VIP will be casting that tonight or tomorrow if you are in one of the Asia, Oceania time zones. So make sure to check that out, as that will be happening as well. And of course, again, tomorrow is Sparkling Tuna Cup, so the open tournament, which will also be covered by Light VIP. And if you see anything on the schedule that you either missed, or maybe it's just not on your time zone, you know, you're busy at the time, but you would still like to see these games, you would still like to check them out, then take a look at our YouTube. We do dual stream to both Twitch and YouTube. We also tried some other platforms at the time as well, but those are our two main ones. And YouTube has instantaneous votes, VODs. Votes are also available, but VODs. Under the live tab, you can see the streams immediately as they are right there. But also, you know, sometime like a few weeks later, usually, we also publish like the cut VODs where you can see specific matches. So if you, for example, want specifically to see, I don't know, Serial games are always very popular. If you want to see just, you know, the games played by Serial, then you can just look up the Serial games on our YouTube, and they are all there. You can find them. So that is something that you can check out. Of course, we also have our socials, so all of our news about our tournaments, our broadcasts are on our socials. So we have Twitter/X, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Blue Sky, we have Mastodon, so you can follow us on any of those if you happen to use them. But most importantly, we do have our Discord. Our Discord is the hub of the community. That is where our latest updates are. That is where you can ask us questions about various things. So that is the place to be if you want to keep up to date with the Ducklings. And if you want to follow me, then I am Kuro. I'm 16 Squad Sanseki. I do stream occasionally on my own channel at Twitch and YouTube at 16 Squad Sanseki, but it's usually not StarCraft. So if you want to check out some chill games, some Final Fantasy maybe, or some other games that I happen to stream every now and then you can check me out there. But with that is all for today. Thank you very much for being here, thank you for watching, and stick around, we will find another StarCraft streamer to raid, but I will see you next time. Bye!